Welcome to a very special episode of IAAF Inside Athletics. I'm your host, Ato Bolden. We're joined today by the fastest man to ever walk the planet, six-time Olympic gold medalist and 100 and 200 meter world record holder, Usain Bolt. It's taken us a while, but welcome to the program, Usain.
Thank you very much.
Always good to have you on. Now let's look forward a little bit to 2016 and Rio. You've already done what no man has ever done in history before. 3 gold medals in Beijing, 3 gold medals in London. Do you feel more pressure with Rio being 15 months away to live up to the expectations that now you have created for yourself in the world?
No, definitely. I think I want the best for myself also. This is the way I look at it, to try to not to feel pressured.
Right.
Because if I want it and everybody else wants it, the same goal. So I try not to make that pressure myself too much. So
Right.
for me, I try to focus on what's necessary and what I want out of this, and then I just work towards it.
I wonder if you've looked at somebody like Allyson Felix, who, like you, has 3 world titles in the 200 and has the Olympic gold. Allyson seems like she's shifting away from 1 and 2, and she's going to go run this quarter. Your real fans like myself are looking at you and they say, anything he does now, apart from the Olympics, is going to just be repetitive. Why not make that shift towards the 400? A lot of people have felt like, listen, this is the event he started in. Why not go back? You're already a legend. You're going to be a walking demigod by having 1, 2, and 400 meter records. Is it just the pain of the event? What's keeping you out of that 400?
I think it's definitely the pain. I think I've over the years, when I started in the 400 meters, I didn't have to work so hard
Right.
in the 400 meters. It was just mostly talent I was working off of. And just seeing every day the quarter miles in my group training, I'm
So
like,
you see the pain.
I don't want to do that. So I've really thought about it. I've told the coach that, listen, we're not going to do it. He's also expressed that maybe I should try, but I've already talked him down. It's not going to happen.
Right.
I think I'm just going to go through my career running my 100 and 200 meters. Maybe
4x4?
after I've said to a few of the 4x4 guys that in 2017 I'll just do the 100 meters, then
Right.
I'll try the 4x4. So I'll train myself and probably run a few throughout the season in 2017 and see if I'll be ready. But it would be nice to run a 4x4
Right.
at a championship.
Barack Obama was recently in Jamaica. I don't think I've ever seen the President of the United States more happy to meet somebody. I know you had him do your lightning bolt pose. I want to ask you though, who have you met celebrity-wise where you kind of turned into the groupie almost, where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so thrilled to be meeting somebody like this? Maybe somebody in the football world.
I think I'm so into sports, but surprisingly, definitely the president for sure.
of course.
Blew my mind. Just me. I've never been so nervous in my life.
Right.
When I met Jason Statham, he's my favorite
Of course,
actor.
yeah.
It was a big thing for me because I love all his movies.
Right.
And for me, meeting Beyonce too.
Yeah,
I
that would do it.
remember I went to the basketball game. I was talking to Jay, and she was sitting there, and I had a conversation all planned out in my head what I would say, and then I saw her, and she said hello, and all I could say was hello, and that was it.
That was it,
So
the conversation went
for
away.
me, it was just weird, but for me it was exciting. So one more person I'd love to meet is Angelina Jolie.
Right.
She's one of my favorite actresses also.
When you show up to practice on a daily basis, you train with Johan Blake, the second fastest man ever. Do you feel like that training group that you have in Kingston, Jamaica, gives you an edge? Because by the time you line up against some of the talent that you have in practice every day, meets almost are a step down from that.
Yeah, definitely. I think it really helps. I think it definitely really helps for me to compete with these guys and to train with these guys every day. It shows you the level. You can see these guys competing. You say, listen, he's really training.
Yeah.
So you know you have to step up your level. Sometime in training, the coach tries to split us up and he tries to talk to us and say, listen, guys, it's training. Be careful. Take your time and train. So over the years, we have learned not to try to compete too much against each other in training, but we're men, so
Right.
we compete, but it's all fun when it's in training.
Now, 4 years ago in London, you had said, in 2016, I'm done, goodbye. But now I see you softening on that a little bit. You're talking
Yeah.
about 17. You realize Rio is wrapped up perfectly for you.
Yeah.
You turned 30 on the day of the closing ceremony. It's almost
Yeah,
like the gods
that's-
are saying, listen,
This is it.
can you, this is it. Tell me why you feel like, okay, you know what, maybe in 16 I won't end it. I'll keep going and see what my body says.
I think initially my sponsors asked me initially that if I could go on for one more season, and I said sure, it shouldn't be a problem. So I decided that I would drop one event and just run the 100 meters because it would be much easier. And for me, I think the fans also. I've always said no, I shouldn't retire yet. I should continue. So for me, giving them one more season is no big deal. And for me, I love track and field. I enjoy traveling and stuff. People say it's going to be hard to walk away. I don't know. I need to ask you, is it hard? I don't know.
It is.
I don't know.
Very hard.
I don't know. I think because
Maybe
I always say at the end, because we train so hard, sometimes you get up every day and like, oh God, I can't wait for this to be over. But people say when it's actually over,
you wish you could
go back. So I'll see what happens. But I'm having that feeling like, oh God, I can't wait for this to be
I'm
done.
gonna guess that you're gonna remain so busy post-career that it won't be the same. It won't be the same for you though.
I think I will be busy. I think a lot of people are trying to tell me what I should do, what I should move towards. So I think I'll have a lot of things to do when I retire.
Now I've been in Jamaica a lot, and I remember leaving. I think it was Fiction.
Okay.
2, 3 in the morning. I'm leaving. You're coming in with your iMac, getting ready to DJ. So I want to know, you turned 28 this year. Have you found that in order to maintain your performance on the track, that you have had to cut back on the nightlife and the partying a little bit as your career goes on?
I've cut back on a lot of things.
Really?
I think you never notice until, I think when I really noticed that I was getting older was last season when I got injured and trying to get back. It was much harder than the years. It was much harder than the years when I was younger. When I get injured, it was like that, and I'm back in good shape.
Right.
Now it takes time for me to get going, and I need a lot more races. So I've noticed that I have to be very careful now. I have to be just aware of everything around me and to make sure that I'm on point. So I've cut back. I've started eating healthy, which that's the hardest thing for me right now. I think is the sacrifice is trying to eat vegetables all the time. Wow. That's the hardest part for me. Otherwise, everything else is easy to give up, but eating healthy is really hard.
I imagine.
It's really hard.
Now, you've talked in the past about your love for other sports. We know you love cricket. We know you love football. Are you still thinking about, you know what, listen, when I get done, whether it's 16, 17, 18, whatever, I'm going to legitimately train with the pros in that respective sport and try to really give another sport a try? Or are you done with thinking about that?
I think the more the years have gone, the less I've really been into that. I think when you're young, you're like, oh, I can do this, I can do anything, this.
Yes.
But the older you get, like, you know what, forget this, I'll find something else to do. But it's one of my dreams to always see if I could really play football. But I don't think I'll pursue it seriously. I'll probably try to play a few matches, but I don't think I'll pursue it seriously.
I know you're a serious video game addict. Tell me what your 3 all-time favorite video games.
Surprisingly, I don't play a lot of video games. I play one. That's Call of Duty. That's it.
Call of Duty, right.
That's it. I play nothing else. That's all. When I started out, I used to play all type of different games. I was a big fan of Pro Evolution. I never used to play FIFA. Okay. And then Pro Evolution became like FIFA. They started making it like FIFA, so I stopped. And then I just stick to Call of Duty. That's all I play. So I haven't been playing a lot now because my coach has begged me to start sleeping more and stuff. So I've really not been into it. So I'm waiting on a new one to come out. So when the new one comes out, then I'll start giving more trouble.
I saw your episode of BBC's Top Gear, and they put you in the reasonably priced car, and you had the fastest time. I thought you were an excellent driver. I've been to Jamaica enough. I've driven on those roads. Where did you learn to drive like that? It's certainly not in Jamaica.
I think it's just a part of me. I think I don't know if you had this problem, but when I'm young, it's just all about speed. I just love driving fast. I think most of the sprinters, Asafa used to drive fast, Michael Frey to drive fast. I think it's just, the only person I think don't drive fast is Johan Blake.
Really?
I think he's not really a fast driver.
Okay.
But everybody else I know that sprints always drive fast. It's just in our blood. I think, but the older I get, the less it's not so glamorous anymore. I'm more of a chill person.
Now, if you look at your own life, I'm sure you will say that you have made more money and had more success than you could have ever dreamed, which has allowed you to do a lot of things for yourself. But what has your success allowed you to do for other people? What's the one thing you can point to and say, you know what, I'm so grateful for my success because I was able to do this one thing?
I think for me, my biggest goal is not even about, it's people coming up to me every day. Facebook, Instagram, everywhere, people saying I inspire them
Yes.
to do great things.
Yes.
I think that's one of my biggest things. It really makes me feel good when I go through and guys say, listen to me, this time when I'm down, I go watch a documentary,
Right.
and it inspires me to continue to working hard. For me, that's one of the biggest things I think could have ever happened to me, and it makes me feel so good.
Mm-hmm.
I look at it to be a role model for so many people, not just in track and field, but in so many different sports around the world. So for me, that's one of the biggest things. And giving back to my community where I've grown up, because I start my foundation, we works on schools, the younger people in the schools, so we give back a lot in different ways, making playgrounds, helping, giving back computer labs, and just helping to fix up for the future and to help the younger kids.
Right. Now, when people look at Jamaica, a lot of people are in awe of you and what you've been able to do. But they don't have to look far past you to look at the machine that Jamaica has. And of course, it starts with boys and girls champs. There are people who will never get to Kingston to see boys and girls champs. What could you tell somebody who has never seen champs ever about what that machine is about and why it continues year after year to just put out talent after talent after talent?
For these kids growing up, it's like their Olympics.
Right.
This is what they train for. This is what they work for throughout the season. They're training. They know that, listen, boys and girls champions coming up. If I can get a gold medal boys and girls championship, it means a lot.
Makes my life.
Yeah, the schools now like Calabar, KCJC, it's like a title-driven thing for them. So I think they work, the athletes work so hard that the talent comes out. And they search, all the schools search all around Jamaica for the best talent and bring them together to just compete against the best. That's how we keep producing talent after talent after talent, year after year after year. And I think it's going to continue to years to come, because I see a few great talents coming out that are going to just to be great. As long as we nurture it and we don't push them too hard when they're too young, it's going to be wonderful.
In getting ready for this interview, I went back and looked at some of the early quotes from your early career, and I realized that the reason you got to run the 100 is because your coach said, okay, I don't want you to run the 100, but if you break Don Quarry's national record, you'd be allowed. You ever allow yourself for a brief moment to think of, if you hadn't broken that record, what your career would be like? You might be running the 4 and the 2 still.
Definitely, I'll be running the 4 and the 2. It was two things. It was that, and I remember when during the season, 07 season, we were talking about that and talking about Don Quarry record, and he wanted me to run the 400 so much, and I was like, nah, coach, I don't want to do it. So we had two bets. One was Don Quarry, and the other one was if I run a fast 100 meters. I begged him. I was like, listen, give me 100 meters. If I run fast, I run the 100 meters. If I don't, I run the 400 meters. And I went to Athens and I ran 10:03, and it was like, I knew you would run fast. Enough. I was hoping that you'd get a bad start and then you would have finished so good. So it was good, but I can imagine every day I talk about it. I think I'll be pretty good because I'm a hard worker and my coach knows how to get me to work. So I think I'll be good, but I'm happy I didn't have to run the 400.
Well, I can tell you, Usain, I feel very privileged that my broadcast career has coincided with your career. I think I'm more proud of what you have meant to this sport off the track, because to a person, everybody that has met you says, listen, that is as humble a superstar as maybe there has ever been. So I want to wish you all the best for 15 and 16 and beyond. And thank you for all you've done for the sport.
It's a pleasure, man.
All right.
Thank you.